Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am Ross Morasso with my guest today, Kaitlyn Andrews, international life coach for women, and you can find her at theartofwomanliness.com. Kaitlyn, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Ross. I'm so glad to be back.
Me too. You know, we've been having some really fascinating conversations in some of our previous shows, and so I'm happy to continue on with those. And I'd like to, for everyone who's tuning in maybe for the first time, or those of us who have been following along, tell us everything that you do, right? Like, what is the art of womanliness? Like, I always like to start with that.
Definitely, Ross. The Art of Womanliness is designed as an oasis for women to be able to get content, courses, and confidence for their lives. And the reason I've built it this way is because I want more resources as a woman. I also want more support from other women who perhaps have a better grasp on some things than perhaps I do. Yet I definitely know I've invested in this for like over 5 years. This has been my life dream, to build a place where women can also talk for reals about real things in a way that's actually going to be positive, strong, and also build the best of them. So I know that we do get a lot of gossip and other things going around, yet I really want this to be a place where you find strength, where you find real support, and that you're able to kind of piece together where you really want to build your life. And as a woman, it's going to look different for everyone. And yet there are foundational truths to womanhood. And I have built out a whole beautiful program called I Am Captivating that helps each woman to build these three truths of womanhood. And you ultimately will become captivating and ultimately become the best and most present you that can flourish and that can thrive and that is able to expand to reach the needs, and then also be able to say, no, I don't think that that's going to be what I need to do right now.
Okay, so you say that you have, women and more or less from all walks of life, and I like this term, captivating, right? Because it's a very general term, but it's something that really is declaring something, right? Which is getting somebody's attention so that we're not ignored or not noticed. And I would imagine that those two things would be two qualities that would probably not help us have our wildest dreams come true, right? So to turn into a captivating person, what would be, inside of being captivating, would be some of the qualities that one would be presenting or sort of vibing out if they're more of a captivating person? And then conversely, what would be some qualities that would definitely be opposite of that, right? So we move through our life and we just behave in sort of the way that we behave. And I think for a lot of us, sometimes there's things that we do and we don't even think that it's bad or off-putting or whatever, but it is, right? So what do you think a couple of on each end would be?
Well, hands down, I think your question is based in awareness, right? And so first and foremost, you got to get aware of what you are doing. And don't look at it as bad or good. Look at it as, okay, what am I doing? So what are some attributes or traits that captivating women have? This is a beautiful question. To me, what I see when I picture a world full of captivating women, and that women choose to step into their true identity, they step in as strong, kind, wise, and compassionate people, and they lead with that strength. Use it as a strength. They don't see it as weakness to be kind. They don't see it as a weakness to be compassionate. And they don't see it as a weakness to have wisdom and to speak up and stand out. Also, that wisdom also requires them to also step back and to realize that maybe it's not their battle. Maybe perhaps it is not their say on how things should be done, and to just continue doing what they need to do and just let go of that control. I think that there is something that is so remarkably elegant when you think of timeless women. Like, I love Audrey Hepburn. I love the way she held herself, the way she was able to present herself, the way she held herself in respect first. And she didn't look for it outwards. She knew who she was. And I love her quote, like, if you want beautiful eyes, see the world with beauty. You know, if you want beautiful lips, speak beautiful, like speak kind words. And this has been like a leading quote for me because I want that. I want to have kind eyes. I want to have a kind soul and spirit. I want to be somebody who is elegant and who is refined and who has respect for herself and who's educated and who's able to speak with that wisdom and have the confidence to do so, that I know where to place it and also how to take control of my life. I think a captivating woman is someone who says, I know what I'm capable of and I'm going to step up into it. Yeah, are you going to have hard days? Oh yeah, but guess what I've found? Greater resilience equals quicker recovery. And if you are continually finding yourselves in the dump of it or in the muck or trying to pull yourself out of the hole that you've dug for yourself or maybe that you found yourself in,
Mm.
keep going, because the greater your resilience, the quicker your recovery and the more you're going to be able to get back up. And I think that is a true trait of a captivating woman, is being able to recover, being able to say, all right, life just gave me a huge knock, you know, like it knocked me down. And now what am I going to do? And that's where really strength comes in. And that's where you get to be your strong, wise, kind, and compassionate self. That's your strength. So, yeah, these are attributes of a strong, beautiful, captivating woman. And beauty, knowing your beauty, knowing who you are. That's beautiful. No one can take that from you.
You know, in our society, sometimes it turns out every once in a while, you know, you ladies get a bad rap. You know, it's like as soon as you start to assert yourself, then you're now seen as aggro or the big B, right? And then, but a man does exactly the same thing and he's just out there being strong, right? With this double standard. So, as you talk about these qualities, how much of it is there an emphasis on we need to be tough or not at all, right? So I think sometimes it seems to be like it's low hanging fruit, but you know, oh, you just got to be toughen up and you got to be tough. You know, when you work with women, I don't actually hear you saying much about it in that way. Not that I have a problem with that, but it just definitely seems to be an alternative way. Maybe it's a more complete way, right? To go about becoming captivating and not looking at what society's version is. So look, I'm asking like 9 questions at once, right? So the
Yeah.
main one is, as you're working with your women, how much is there a conversation of toughening up?
Oh my, not at all. Um,
I thought you might say that.
I
You know,
I feel like when you are confident and kind and you understand your power for yourself,
mm,
you're not going to assert it willy-nilly. You're not just going to stick it out there and hope that it hits the wall exactly where you want it to. No, you're going to be deliberate. You're going to tape it. You're going to paint it right. You're going to make sure that it is ready and it is clear what's going on. Yeah, I don't think if I've ever met a woman who's just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna beat up a guy if he tells me that I'm worthless or something. I in fact will just take it. I've met more women who will take it.
mm,
The thing is that what I've seen, if you just even scroll through Instagram or TikTok or whatever, the more I see is that women are so creative. They're so resourceful. They are able to kind of think outside the box. They think about their families. They think about different aspects of their life that they want to engage in. And from what I've seen is that, they don't say, okay, is this going to stop me? No, they're like, what's next? And I think where the dialogue needs to shift is men are out to get me. And I don't think that. I don't think
mm,
that at all. I think that they're trying to navigate in a way that says, I see you. I want you to know that you are valued for more than just your image, which is what we're taught every day, that image matters. And I want you to know that there's room for you here. Yeah, I think that what is going on is the dialogue isn't quite, not only is the door open, but yet when you speak, not only will we listen, but we'll take an opportunity to counsel with everyone at the table, including you, to see how that can even possibly go forward. And to share that possibility and potential aspect with women. And I think that that's what really is where we see power, we see aggression, because women are saying, okay, well, you're not even willing to go the next step with me, to even see if it's collaborative, to see if it can go somewhere with this. And I do think that there's a lot of aspects of feminism that I absolutely do not agree with. I do think that you can't put it in the cut and dry, black and white, male haters versus, female supporters. I don't think we can do that. I also don't think that stating huge federal laws are actually going to benefit all of women. I really don't think that the battle is won there. I really do think the battle is first won in personal identity, choices that women make. I think it's being willing to step up and say, okay, what kind of woman do I want to be? Instead of just defaulting, instead of just asking for any man to love you, for any possibility to have any sort of love. No, you got to figure out what you want. And I think that there's a lot of dialogue going on. Well, this is my choice. This is my body. And honestly, I don't even think that you've realized what your choices are yet, what is really possible for you. So I'm not a political person. This is just what I've seen. I've seen that my husband and I, he wants me to go for my full dreams. He's not someone who's just going to back down and say, oh, well, you know what? You shouldn't be doing that. You need to be a stay-at-home mom and you need to just figure it out. Oh, yeah, I've had to figure out motherhood and it's rough. And that's also what I teach. I teach women how to transition into that level of independence versus not dependency, that level. And it can be very hard. Yet at the same time, like, own it, teach them, show them, make that generation know, like, hey, mom goes for her dreams. And also you matter. There has to be a combination of the two, or else we're really suffering. And then also I definitely believe that my husband and I are just two hands of a whole. We have different functions and we have different abilities, yet we are both needed when time comes, when family comes, when parenting comes, when we're both faced with similar situations at church, or when we're in society and culture or community, and we're both there. We're like, how are we going to handle this together as a unit with both of our strengths, with both of our abilities? And we don't look at each other like, well, you don't got what it takes. No, he's just like, I'm so glad you're by my side. And I say that back. I'm so glad you're with me too. Because he knows how to fight different battles. And I'm grateful for his wisdom and his love and his support. And so I think he's equally grateful. In fact, I know he's equally grateful for me. So that's kind of how I see it going.
I'm talking with Kaitlyn Andrews, international life coach for women. You can find her at theartofwomanliness.com. And let me ask you a question. As you said, I don't like to get political. So let me ask you one that sounds heavily political, but isn't.
Yeah.
Speaking inside of, and I don't mean it this way. So, because you get to say, as a woman, talking about feminism, what do you think in your mind? I'll frame this in two ways. Feminism gets right and feminism gets wrong, or the other way to frame that is, what do you think about feminism is serving women well? And then what components would you like to maybe toss back on a table for continuing dialogue?
I think not valuing life in any sense of the word is wrong. I don't care what has led to that. Yet, honestly, consider the fact that you are alive and understand what that actually means. So that to me is something that needs to be put back on the table, is the value of life. And there's a direct correlation. And the UVU Women's Center has done an entire research on this, phenomenal, that the way in which we treat Mother Earth is exactly the way in which we treat women, that there's a direct correlation between how we treat the world around us and our culture and our environment to the direct correlation of how we're going to treat our women. So if you think about all of the wonderful trash minefields we're filling our earth with, or that the way that we don't cultivate or don't take care of our food or don't want to take the time to really invest is the same way that we're treating our women. And so I think that there's something wrong there, and that feminism is focusing too heavily on choice and not heavily on actual results. I think that we've lost a huge battle. I think feminism originally occurred so that we could build a better society with equals. And I don't think that that's what we're seeing. In my understanding, and when I fought for the feminism side of things, hear me roar, watch me, like, look out, here I come, you big B. Like, there wasn't the same strength. I've tried it. And what it felt like is that we were pushing men from the bottom, and then we try so hard to do like this acrobatic move to get above them and say, yeah, check me, I did it. And it's like, okay, at what cost though? Now that you're at the top, now what, girl? Like, do you even know what you're doing? It is a question. And I don't think that acrobatic move to try to move past men and now basically stomp on them is the true answer that we're looking for. I think if we're going to see any changes in society, including Black Lives Matter, including Latinos, including any sort of race, I think it has to start with women. I think it has to start with women being willing to create a space for all of humanity to flourish. And I think that women are exactly positioned where we have those natural abilities to nurture, to cultivate, to refine, to gather, to really create that space. In my head and in my heart, I feel like women are kind of like circles and men are kind of like squares. And if you think about it, you have the framework of the business world, and it's like, it's a square. But women try to fit into that business model and they fill gaps. Like, they feel like there's gaps around that. Naturally so, because we're trying to fit a circle inside of a square. Yet I think entrepreneurship, humanity is a circle, and we get humanity. Like, if you think about it, women talk and we share and we listen, and we're the people who are there when everyone's crying or when something goes wrong. We're there. So are men in different ways. Yeah, I do think that when the square fits inside the circle, the man feels secure and safe within a woman who absolutely loves her and him, who loves herself and loves him. And there's a security for that man that he can't find anywhere else, because she makes his rough edges smoother. She makes him stronger. And the circle is considered actually the strongest shape in math and in physics and stuff. But like, there's something so powerful about it. And so I think we got to stop putting, us versus them. I think creating a mentality. This is actually a Tibetan monk who taught a little bit about this. He says it's stop doing the us versus them mentality and start creating a all of us mentality. And I think that's kind of where I'm going in my life, is we're all in this together. And I know that that's like a High School Musical thing, but like, honestly, I really do think that we really are needing to create a different mindset.
Even with like climate change right now, right? I mean, Mother Nature, if we can use that term, does not really seem to care how much we've been trying to recycle or what we're not using, whether we've been good or the destructive. The rain is coming anyway, right? Now, when you talk about, and I've heard you say this before, and you just did a couple moments ago, about gather that makes you stronger. So like, I don't think you're talking about gathering sticks off your front lawn, right? So what are things that people, what is that when you say that, to gather what makes you stronger? Like, how does one go about in the world doing that?
Oh my goodness. This is a lifelong pursuit. Okay. And I actually do think it kind of, men, their natural abilities is to protect, provide, and preside. So gather, nurture, and refine equally match that for women. So gathering is a way that we protect. If you think about it, even animals do this. Like hens or any type of fowl will gather their chicks under their wings and they will protect them. Lionesses will bring their cubs into a den and protect them. They'll gather and protect. So gathering has many aspects. Gathering good books, good literature. I love Sally Clarkson's book, The Life-Giving Home. She shares this
Wait,
incredible
hold on a minute. You said
understanding.
that really quick. What is this book that you like?
This is called The Life-Giving Home by Sally Clarkson. And she wrote about gathering things into your home that whenever anyone sits down or when they look around, that they know not only what you're about, but they're edified with whatever they pick up,
Mm.
whatever they choose to do in your home. Any visitors, any guests, any person, your children, um, that they are edified when they come into your home. And then just continue gathering good things, good quotes. I love John Maxwell. He says, I have an entire case of things, of quotes that I draw from for the rest of my life, things that have touched me. Choose how you're going to gather. I personally help you gather mindset. I help you gather emotional intelligence. I help you gather
Mm.
tools so that you are able to not only get out of that pit, but really, really make your life exquisite and elegant and ready to go and prepared and organized and in a way that you can function for you, not some cookie cutter um, strategy. No, it's all about you in the sense that you are the leader of your life. And that doesn't mean that you don't need anyone else. No, it means that you know where you are not able to do it and you can say no, and you can also ask for help. So getting that strength. So that's
In
the
our
first
quest
year.
for gathering,
Yeah.
as they say sometimes, we gotta kiss a lot of frogs to find the prince, but leaving that part alone and gathering the good stuff, we also can come across the bad stuff or the opposite of gathering. I'll pick a word. There's probably five or six, but to purge out, right? So do you
Yeah.
also work when you're working with your clients, when your groups, about dealing with the unconstructive or destructive things that we have gathered and getting it out of here?
Oh, yeah. I truly believe healing is a process, and healing doesn't have to just happen with trauma. It can happen with other things in your life. I used to be a purger, and I actually found now that the word cleansing, is way more what I do now. Purging requires physical, almost in a terrified state to remove something from your life. And so I'm actually more into cleansing, which is a process of which you intentionally let go and intentionally clean your life.
Now that
So, yeah,
happens also though, like internally. This isn't just vacuuming the floor, right? So,
right. Oh my goodness, yes. We
right.
first go first internal. I truly believe that women are built from the inside out. We naturally have like a spiritual intuition. Yeah, I also really do think that the inner plane, inner side of us, the light, if we can build that first, it it grows to fill the holes. I think so often we think of stuffing things in our little ouches, and we have our addictions, we have our times when we just want to run and zone out, and we start stuffing things down inside of us, hoping that something's going to work, hoping something's going to heal, something's going to happen. And yet what I have found more than anything else is that if I go inward, seek and find and center myself in peace, and I keep fanning that flame, it grows and builds me, and it fills the holes instead from the inside out. And so that is exactly what I teach women to do.
Now, you have said in the past that there are three foundational truths to womanhood. What are those?
Yes, gather, nurture, and refine. Yes, and I've shared that they've parallel with protect, provide, and preside. And I do think that they're equally as strong and equally as needed. Gather, nurture, and refine. We've just talked about gather. Nurturing is cultivating relationships and learning to nurture those around you. And I mean, honestly, your greatest gifts in life is going to be the relationships you build. And also the relationship first that you build with yourself and with God and with whoever you're trying to build a relationship with. And so, hands down, that is essential to life. And so, I help you build that. And then the third one is nurture and refine. Sorry, nurture. Yeah, then refine. So, it's beauty and confidence. And I truly believe that a woman, when I get ready, oh my goodness, I feel so much better. I actually can present myself to the world in a different way. I feel more confident. And I also teach you words of confidence. I teach you mindset confidence. I teach you physical attributes of confidence. And then for beauty, I really help you dispatch those lies, get them out of your life, and help you recognize that there's so much more to you than has ever been shared with you. and that you see the flaws, or you see the pain, or you see the lies. And honestly, I'm so excited to work with each and every one of you to help you really reach that. Whoever's listening, that you have the ability to be beautiful for reals, the real you, not the mega eyebrows and the big lashes and the lip filler. I'm talking about the real, genuine, incredible, beautiful you. And that's what I help with. So yeah.
If I can ask you this, since we're just touching on beauty, and in all of our conversations, I've never asked physical question before, but I don't know when the next time I'll have a chance to speak. But I've got to say, and for those of us who are listening, you just have to take my word for this. But Kaitlyn, your skin is flawless, and I know that. And Audrey Hepburn, See the World Beautiful, and from the inside, and I think that that is the stuff that we build on. But if I may ask one surfacey question, do you use a skincare line for your face?
No.
You really don't.
No, I actually firmly believe that if we're going to create proper sebum in our skin, which is the oil of which our skin produces, you
Mm-hmm.
have to be willing to gently cleanse your skin very, very irregularly. I actually have a program that can help you reach that status of natural health, and where your skin is actually going to continue to create the required oils for your skin to continue to produce over the next years and years and years of your life. Also, hands down, Jolene Hart, she gives an incredible digest version of where to start if you want to start eating beautiful, because the
Okay.
way your skin is your largest living organ. So hands down, start changing the way you eat. Hands down, because that changes the way your skin's going to grow and everything. So yeah, Eat Pretty by Jolene Hart. Start there.
Okay, I wanted to ask that because you're like living and walking proof, of what it is that you're talking about, right? So no products on there to keep it great, and it is fabulous glowing skin. So look, well, we just have a couple of minutes left. You tell everybody where they can find you and what they should expect when they call you for the first time.
Oh my goodness. What can you expect? That I'll love you. I'll love you right where
Hmm.
you're at. And girl, I have been through hell and back, so I can teach you how to stop being in hell. And I am so grateful that we get to break down the lies, that we get to stop the traps that keep ensnaring your soul and that dims your light. I am so excited for you to become your best self, to give yourself permission to glow, to be captivating, to really sincerely to really sincerely be the woman that you're designed to be. And that is ultimately what you're going to get from me. And so whoever's listening, I want to ask you, will you reach out to me today and just start that free clarity call? Because whatever it is you're going through, I promise you that there is a solution. And I have fought for years so that I can be there for you wherever you are in your challenge, wherever you are in your beauty, wherever you are on your journey, because I mean, we're all in this together. And I know that there are solutions that can help you. So you can reach me at hello@theartofwomanliness, or you can go to my website at theartofwomanliness.com and go to the resource page. And there you can find information about a clarity call and other things that I'm up to, which is quite wonderful for everything that you would like to do with your life.
Kaitlyn Andrews, international life coach for women. As you just said, theartofwomanliness.com. You can find her there. There's also a free 7-day challenge that you can do with her. It has been a real pleasure chatting with you over these various shows over the last several weeks. And I wish you all the best. Reach out to Kaitlyn, free call.
Thank
What
you,
do you
Ross.
got to lose? So thank you so much for this. Maybe we'll have a chance
Thank
to have you on the
you.
show again. You will always be welcome here, Kaitlyn Andrews. And
Thank you,
everybody
Ross.
else, thank you for tuning in. I'm Ross Morasso. Until next time. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.